of doing the transmission filter on this 2013 Acura Mdx. So I'm here making another video for you guys, showing you guys. Everybody knows how to take out the battery, the two 10mm terminals. It's gonna be 110 here, you just loosen that, and then another 10 here, loosen that. Then you lift the battery out. Battery doesn't have any connectors, but I just had to lift it out. Then the battery tray, you lift that out, and then you see this. So basically right now there's a 10 that goes here that you'll be taking out. There's another 10 right here you'll be taking out, and then I have to take off these bolts here, and then this box, junction box that sits here, you just press this tab backwards and lift up on both sides. So it's one here and one here, and you lift this, and then you use the needle nose pliers to clamp down on this, and then once you clamp down on that, once you squeeze this tab, this whole box will come out. And then then I'm gonna catch back the video from here. This is to do the transmission filter on the Mdx, on the 2013 Mdx. It was just changing the transmission filter. All right, catch back the video for you guys. This is not for the faint of heart. It's doing the transmission filter on the Mdx. This is just basically a lot of tabs here like this that you're gonna have to take off. There's gonna be a tab here and here, like I said, to lift this out. You have to take out the airbox. The airbox is basically a 10 right here, and then a couple of connectors that you have to take out, which, you know, plug into here and stuff like that you have to disconnect. This is how the airbox sits. I had to take it out. There was a tab here. All you have to do is lift these tabs up, and then slide it off. Or these, every time you see one of these little attachments here, that means that there's a connector. I mean, I had to take off probably like at least 10 to 12 connectors to get this airbox out, and then release the MAP sensor, the mass airflow sensor, which is just the little tab here. You just press and it lifts it off. So once you do that and you loosen the 10 here and you lift the airbox out, which I have on the side, and from there there's going to be a 10 here, like I said, and a 10 here to take out the airbox also. They're going to be long 10s or whatever. There's going to be a couple of bolts holding on the tray to the frame itself. So there's a couple of bolts. It's going to be 12mm. It's going to be one here. I had to move this wiring connector to the side to get to it. There's going to be a 12 here, 12 here, okay, and there's going to be another 12 here, and then another 12 here on the side, which you can all reach without swivel heads, so you don't need that. So then you have to, there's more connectors on this side, but what I did was, instead of disconnecting these connectors, all I did was like lift this box off and then just pull this to the side. There's going to be a lot of these little tabs that you're going to need to get to. Just use needle nose pliers to just press on the tabs and then just slide these tabs out. That's what I did. It's a little annoying, all the tabs that they have, but I guess, you know, they're there for a reason. So, you know, just showing you guys. Okay, so what I did was I pushed the tray to the side like this, so, and then there's a transmission filter right here. This one has a lot of pressure switches. There's one here for the transmission. Has another one down here, and it has another 3 on the transmission itself. Yeah, another 3 to get to. So right now my focus is on getting this out, which there should be a bolt right here in the front, a 10, and then this should release, and then just move the clamps, using those pliers to remove the clamps here, and then just pull the filter out and then put the new one in, and then go from there. All right, so this is the transmission filter here. There's going to be a screw here, a 10mm here. That 10 you have to take out. Use a ratchet with like a 3-inch extension. I used the 1/4 ratchet, quarter ratchet, and the 10mm and on this bolt here. Then there's going to be another one here on the side of the transmission here, way in the back here. There's going to be one on the side here, 10 here on the side. Under that bolt, under this bolt here, there's going to be another one back here. So we take out that 10 that's going to be here on the plate, the bracket plate, and then there's going to be another one down here on the bottom of this plate. It's going to be bolted to the side of the transmission also. So now the bracket is loose for the transmission filter. See, that was the other bolt down there, and now I could just take this apart, use the needle nose pliers to push on the clamp here to pull the hose off, and then push it to the side, take out the bottom one, the bottom clamp, pull out the transmission filter, and then just slide the new one in reverse order. Yeah, slide it in reverse order. Like I said, so there's going to be one down here, a 110 back here. There's going to be another 10 down here on the bottom. They're bolting it to the side of the transmission. There's going to be another 10 here, so there's 3 bolts holding this in. Okay, so then now after that, I can pull the bracket apart, use needle nose pliers, pull this hose off, just push this to the side, take off the bottom clamp, and then just slide the new filter in, put the clamps on, slide everything in, bolt everything back, put everything back. Now I know there's no videos on this because this is a mission just to get to this transmission filter. But I'm gonna take out the filter and catch back the video for you guys. So what I did was I used the needle nose pliers to press on the clamp, pull the clamp back. That's what I did for the clamp, to pull the clamp back. Then with the needle nose pliers, you grab it and you twist it left to right to break it free from the transmission filter nozzle on the top. So what I'm going to do is pull this out, and then I'll plug it up, and then I'll work on the bottom, getting the bottom clamp off, pulling it off, and then replacing the filter with the new transmission filter, and then go from there. It takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of time. There's a lot of clips and stuff. Just take your time doing it and you'll get it done. Okay? Easy, right?
Yeah. What would I do without you?
Alright, so the transmission filter is out. What I did was I just, the bottom one, I just pulled the clamp down. Like I explained to you, just pull the clamp down with the needle nose pliers. And then with the transmission filter, you just, once you get the top off and the bottom is still in, and you take the clamp out, you move the clamp down, then you just turn it like this. And it'll loosen the bottom hose, and then you just lift it out. And that's what it'll look like afterwards. This is the old transmission filter right here. And this is the new one. Okay. So right now, I remember how it went. It's facing down like this. So I'm gonna slide this in to the bottom there, to the bottom hose. Slide that in. Then slide on the clamp that's right there. I'm gonna slide that clamp up, back onto it. And then put the top hose on, put the top clamp on, and then reconnect the clamp connectors that hold it, the bracket that holds it in place. And then I'll catch back the video for you guys. Remember, the bracket sits here between and sits like this, okay, and it just bolts onto the transmission from the bracket. Remember the 2 bolts that sits on the side, and then the one that sits in the front here. And that's it. I'll catch back the video for you guys. I'll give you a close-up of what it looks like. This is the transmission filter bracket. What I did was I put the 10 back in here to hold the bracket with the thing. This is what I was showing you guys down on the bottom. on the side of the transmission, there's 2 bolts that sits on the side of the transmission that holds this in. Then there's the 1 bolt in the front here. This is the way that it sits. These 2 sit on the side of the transmission. And then there's 1 here in the front. This is a 10, which is pretty hard to get to. But like I said, you could use a 1/2 inch or whatever. What I use is not a 1/2 inch, I use a 3/8. But what I did was to take the ones off the side of the transmission. On the side here, I use this, the ratchet and wrench, to get that done. So right now what I'm going to do is just put the bottom hose on the bottom, and then the top hose on the top, and then slide the clamps down to hold it in place, and then that's it. This right here connects to a bracket. You just clamp it and it'll come out for that. So right now I'm just going to put it all back, put the hoses back on, and clamp down, and that's it. 1, 2, 3. And then I'll record putting everything back. Alright?
I get a lot of views on this.
Yeah. Alright, so the transmission filter's in. Like I said, I put in the screw here first before anything, and then put the 2 screws on the side of the transmission. 1 here and 1 down here. Line 1 down here to hold this bracket on that I showed you. Just slid the hoses on, used the Nino's pliers, squeezed it, just pushed it down. Same thing I did with the hose on the bottom. Just pulled it up. I did the bottom hose first before I did the top. So once you slide the hoses on, you slide the hose and the clamps on, clamps down, then you bolt this to the side of the transmission. Then you bolt this to the side of the transmission and on the bottom, and you're good to go. And I'll put everything back and call it a day. This was a nightmare. Don't do it unless you got patience. I got plenty of patience. I had no diagram, nothing showing me. So I'm gonna see. Okay, so the tray is, what I did was I just lifted the tray, put it down to the side, lined up all the holes for the bolts, lined up all the holes, lined up the holes here, and just let this sits on top of that, clamps onto it, boom. Another 10 goes here, then the 12 goes, 2 12s go here, and then another 2 12s go here. 1 goes here, and another one goes there to lock it in place, and another one goes here. And then I'll start putting back the airbox, which is gonna be this bolt and a couple, and these 2 bolts to put everything back in. So I'm gonna start screwing everything back in, and then catch back the video for you. Upgrading the headlight bulbs also to some Ostrom CBIs, the headlight bulbs also, so we'll be doing that also, so stay tuned. So already started putting in the battery tray. Put in this bolt here. There's another bolt here. These are 12s. Another 12 here. Another 12 here. And a 10 that goes back here to hold the fuse box. And then another 10 goes here. And then you could put the fuse box back in. I mean the ear box. And then reconnect all the connectors. And you should be good to go. So put the airbox back in, slide it down. There's 110 here, there's 110 here. You slide the boot over, you line this notch up with the hose, line the notch up, make sure the 10 millimeters up top so you can get it. This connector for the mass airflow sensor, plug that back in. Plug the other connector back here in the back. This wiring will be disconnected too, because this is something that you have taken out. Then you push this back in to snap in. Okay. Then you have this right here that just slides in. You just push it back on. That'll snap right in. You push this. This will snap back in also. Yeah. So you just plug back in that, the mass airflow sensor, and then this other sensor here. Push back in the tabs here and here. Now I'm just gonna tighten down these two 10s, the 110 here and the 110 here, and that's it. And then put the battery back, and it should be good to go. But change out the headlight bulbs too, so I'm just gonna leave the battery out. Oh man, that was crazy, that whole job. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and peace.